Oh my gosh, it sounds so good. And it really feels like nothing for this car. We're not even close to reaching the limit. It's just so balanced, so effortless. Everything that this car does, it does so well. Why, hello, I'm Kyle with Autoblog, and today we are checking out the absolutely incredible 2025 Porsche 911 Carrera. And today we're going to be exploring what has made the 911 really the poster child of sports cars for over 60 years. How has it remained so popular? Why is it so desirable? And how have they managed to keep their resale values so high? Every brand looks to have a halo car. Every brand wants to have something that kids want to put as a poster in their bedroom. It's just sort of that aspirational piece. It's something that is more than just a vehicle. It's something to experience. It's something to drive. It's something to be seen and talk about the history, right? So what is it exactly? What's the recipe for the 911 that has made it such a perfect vehicle over all these years? What's just so amazing about this car and continues to amaze me is just the level of which it handles on the road. We are going through all these switchbacks, these tight, curvy roads, and it just has so much to give, so much grip, so much traction. You're hitting into the corner, down into second. We're going up a switchback right now. We're entering the switchback at almost 30 miles per hour, and we're exiting at almost 45 miles per hour. You get on the gas, you hit the around 7,500 RPM red line. It just sounds so good, and it really feels like nothing for this car. We're not even close to reaching the limit. It's just so balanced, so effortless. Everything that this car does, it does so well. What is the formula of this car, right? So it started off rather simple. Interestingly enough, the designers, they put the engine, it's a rear-mounted engine, right? Now, rear engine cars, especially a long time ago, they didn't have the technology that they have today. They were incredibly unstable. But over time, Porsche really perfected that recipe to make the 911 have such a unique balance, a unique character that really no other car can offer today. And that is one thing, one staple that makes the 911 lineup so unique, and that is, of course, having the rear-mounted engine. All right, so what else is it that makes the 911 such a unique vehicle? And that is, of course, the boxer-style engine. What a cool engineering feat that they have achieved when they made this vehicle and started designing it such a long time ago. So the early days of the 911, they were air-cooled units. We've moved up, of course, a lot in terms of different technologies that we use, but one thing has stayed the same, and that is the boxer-style engine. One thing that's so great about that is that the pistons are horizontally opposed to one another. So what this allows us to do is have a really low-profile, flat engine so it can fit very nicely in compact areas like the 911, obviously being a pretty compact vehicle. They've really done a lot over the years to really refine this engine and make it so nice. And a couple of things that this engine does that I love so much. One is it has such a unique note. this sounds so unique, and that is something I love. Also, we do have the sport exhaust system here on this guy right here. It's optioned up. I think it's around a $3,500 option. That does change the tailpipe design as well. Oh my gosh, it sounds so good, especially as you cross over the 4,500 RPM mark, and it just keeps going and going. The level of acceleration across the entire band is so linear that it is just phenomenal, and the horsepower curve's also fantastic. Frankly, the engine doesn't make a ton of power on paper. The Carrera, which again is the base engine, puts out 388 horsepower and 331 foot-pounds of torque. And again, that allows us for a 0 to 60 time of around 3.4, 3.5, somewhere in there range, depending, of course, your driving conditions, your altitude, things like that. Now, another thing, though, that I must note that I absolutely love about the Boxer style engine is how they were able to really help also the vehicle maintain a low center of gravity, which of course translates to superior handling dynamics on curvy switchback roads. And we're about to kind of experience some of that right now. Let's face it, I think that anybody who gets behind the wheel of a 911, that'll be their favorite thing after they get out of the car. Is just the handling of this vehicle, the low center of gravity, the balance of this car, just everything about it is such a unique experience, and it feels so good. Another cool thing is the profile of the vehicle's exterior with its fenders. You can see both the right and left top fender, right? So as you're entering into corners, in and out of corners, you can really put the car exactly where you want it to be, and you have a really good visual representation from the driver's seat of where you want to put the car. You have great visibility out of the rear window, and really phenomenal visibility out of the front again, and that's of course thanks to the very unique shape and design of the 911, something that has remained the same and is the icon of sports cars, in my opinion, is just the profile of the 911. It is simply breathtaking, stunning, and it is instantly recognizable. Even by people who are not car people, they can see that shape and they know it's a Porsche, they know it's a 911. So in terms of the front matrix LED light design here, Porsche has included everything here in the housing now. So we have the blinker going on up here, we have the daytime running light. Looks really cool, and as you get close here and check out the details, you can see it has Porsche spelled out within the headlamp, and then there's some cool texturing going on, different design elements within the headlamp housing that really make it look like a cool art piece. Definitely something cool to check out. In terms of wheel design choices, we have 5 different options. These are the base wheels. We have actually 20 and 21. So we have 20-inch up front, 21-inch in the rear. So they're a little staggered there in terms of sizing to give it better performance. And now in terms of customization, one thing that I want to point out is the incredible amount of options when it comes to exterior paint colors that Porsche offers. They have paint color options that you can customize fully yourself. That can cost north of $14,000. Or you have right here, this beautiful blue is part of one of their color collections. I want to say it's around $1,500 to $2,000. So pretty affordable too, depending on which option you want to go with, but really just an unlimited amount of color combinations, which really speak to this bespoke nature of the 911, can really make it whatever you want. We also, of course, have the fuel fillet right here, a little bit of a nod to their racing heritage, as well as right here, everything is optimized for aero. So these mirrors right here have been optimized for aero to an extreme efficiency right here with all these different points. But overall here, we have, of course, the updated headlamp. We have the updated front fascia. 5 wheel designs, cool filler filter right there. It's remained unchanged. It's always been up there. And again, this is a really nice, beautiful side profile of this car. Very compact looking, very sporty, and definitely very Porsche. Now, the rear of the 911 for 2025 has remained largely unchanged. We still have that really elegant very, very unmistakable Porsche 911 LED light bar that stretches all the way across the back. We have another nice little LED light fixture right here in the center above the spoiler. This is actually a retractable spoiler, so it can go up and down depending on when you want it out. Depending on the speed of the vehicle, you can toggle that from inside. It looks really cool. It also does help a little bit in terms of performance with downforce if you're on the track or something like that, driving the car really hard. One of my favorite though features, in addition to the very elegant LED light bar back here, are the Porsche letters spelled out across the rear of the vehicle. They are actually really cool looking. Again, they pop out. They have a great texture to them. They just look really cool and give the car a very elegant feel. That combos really nicely here with the 911 Carrera right here. The font of this, I absolutely love it. They picked the most perfect font to really just tie in the whole feel of the vehicle very nicely. Last thing to note is that you can tell this 911 is optioned with the sport exhaust system because here of the oval tailpipes. So we have here, they're in titanium. We also have a black finish, so you can go black or titanium for the sport exhaust system, and they get this oval appearance here. If it did not have that, they actually have a whole different shape, so you can tell with that. Now, I will say, in order to get the most out of the 911, I really would strongly suggest everybody get it with the sport exhaust system. This really helps bring out the character even further in the incredible 911. One thing that's really just amazing about this car is the 8-speed PDK transmission. Now, that is Porsche's solution to high performance track driving. This system has been developed, it's in race cars today, and it is really just the pinnacle of automotive transmissions. And what makes it so great is just its response time, the feel, and how it engages with the vehicle as you're behind the wheel is absolutely incredible. Now, it's operated as like an automated manual, and a lot of them can tend to be a little bit finicky at low speed, sort of between that neutral and first gear and traffic and things like that. But Porsche has done such a good job refining the transmission over the years that you really just don't even notice it. What you really get is the result of insanely fast lightning quick shifts. So as Porsche phases out the manual, we still though thankfully do get it in the Carrera T, which is fantastic, but it's really just such a joy to drive the PDK. It is just such an amazing system. It is set up flawlessly, and what makes it so great is the execution of the gear shifts. They are lightning quick, and it is the automated manual setup in the PDK that really does just make it such an amazing vehicle that really just add another level of flavor to how you can drive this car. But one thing that really does set the 911 apart, in my opinion, from other vehicles would be just the level of versatility that this car has, right? So you can get it in the coupe form, which we're driving here today, which is just such a great iteration of the 911, pure classic styling with the coupe. Then you have Targa, right? Then you have Cabriolet. And then you can kind of even classify the GT3 RS racing cars as into their own category, right? But you have all these different variants, so you can really choose the car that works best for your lifestyle and what you want to do with it. You have race car, you have daily driver, you have open sun by the sea cruiser with the Cabriolet, or you have just that really unique look in the Targa model, right? In addition to all of those different styles you can get the 911 in, you also have the ability to get all-wheel drive. So if you live in a climate you want daily drive your 911, if you live in an all-weather climate where you need that capability, then the 911 can make it happen for you. And I think that's really such a great philosophy, and that's what makes the 911 such a great vehicle to have and to drive, is just the level of which you can customize it. Now, the interior of the 911 really speaks to the Porsche design philosophy, and that is really a true driver's vehicle. It's very modern inside. It's not over the top, but still very premium and very nice place to spend time. The seats are very comfortable. Right here, we have the 14-way power adjustable seats. So we have side bolster control, leg bolster control, and they're really a very comfortable racing seat. And the headrest is back far, so that when you have a helmet on, when you're on the racetrack, your head actually is in the correct position. Because right now, if you drive it, you'll notice, the head kind of sits back far. In terms of the leather trim choices, the really nice leather dashboard here, heated and cooled seats as a, speaking to the sort of luxury grand touring element to this car, heated steering wheel. Really, again, everything that you need to be comfortable is right here. This steering wheel is actually one of my favorite steering wheels of any vehicle on sale today. We have these really nice tactile feeling paddle shifters here behind the stalks right there on the side. Really just great paddle shifters. They again have such a nice feel to them, feel really sturdy. We also have the drive mode selection system right here. We have these different dials and controls which relate to volume for the audio system, as well as some dials here that interact with the new screen that we have here as our digital instrument cluster. Now, talking about that, I am sad to say that we have lost, for the first time ever, the physical tachometer in the instrument cluster here in the 911. Now it's just a screen. It looks really nice. It looks really clear, really crisp. It's of course reconfigurable, but again, we've lost that feeling. So I am sad to see that go. In terms of other things that I am sad to see go, we also have now a push to start button. We have lost that nice tactile sort of feel that we had there on the previous generation, previous year 911, where it's actually a physical switch you're actually adjusting. So I do miss that. Now, in terms of updates on the infotainment system, we have now Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, wireless. It's a really fantastic system. Everything's just super easy to use, very intuitive. You can get in here, you can look at the different assistance features that the car has. You can look at the different trip, the comfort features. We have a whole bunch of different options for ambient lighting, a bunch of different options for the drive modes. And here under drive, you can also adjust the suspension, the exhaust. All the drive modes can be adjusted from the screen as well. We have a really easy to use navigation system, and it's worth mentioning that now Android Auto and Apple CarPlay is actually integrated into the navigation system. Overall, wrapping up, really nice place to spend time, high quality touches, very customizable, but we have lost a few tactile elements here in this new generation. I think that is one interesting thing about Porsche that I love so much, and why the 911 is so true to my heart and always will be, is that the 911 is a car person's car. Of course, at the price point that we're getting at here, a base 911 Carrera, with just a couple options, you're hitting $140,000. So it's definitely not an inexpensive purchase, but of course, compared to some things by Lamborghini, Ferrari, Aston Martin, it's still going to be on the lower end of that price point segment. The 911 really is just a special person, a special club of people who just really appreciate the art of driving. And I think that the 911 lineup, no matter which model you choose from, really does that perfectly. When you're in something like a Lamborghini or Aston Martin or Ferrari, everything's just over the top. It's 110% all the time. And you really never get to drive the car to its edge or its limit because you're not on a track and they're just simply so ridiculously fast. But the 911 Carrera, which is the base model, really does allow you to hint and touch the edge of its abilities when you're on the road, because it is just such a great balanced vehicle, and it's not over the top. It's everything it needs to be, and then some, of course, when it comes to handling, dynamics, and things of that nature. But it's not the crazy, bonkers, just look at me car that is. It's really just ultimately a driver's vehicle. So while other automakers try and chase trends, try different experiments with where to place the engine, radical styling changes, right, to really try and drive sales, Porsche, they know their formula, and they've stuck to it for over 6 decades. And really, what makes it so special is that it hasn't changed much over time, and they've just simply perfected an already great base formula and improved the recipe over time to make such an incredible vehicle. And that's why the 911 will remain as one of the best cars ever made and go down on the Automotive Hall of Fame history books for hundreds of years to come. It's the vehicle that kids want to put on their bedroom wall and aspire to drive one day. I know I did.